Battle for the Mountain has begun. Hey, how's it going? My name is jackiefishhh and welcome back to another Total War Warhammer 2 online battle sent in to me by my wonderful Discord. We are on a cool custom map in the mountains and I'm ready to see who will come out on top between the Skaven forces and the Greenskins. This is also a 4 vs 4, so it's going to be pretty crazy. Lots of armies going at one another with a ton of mods as well. So if there's any mods that you like the look of, then you can find them down below in the description. And it's been a little while since I last uploaded Warhammer, so if you do want to see more of this on the channel once again, then do make sure to hit that like button down below. Obviously Warhammer is always, and Total War in general, is always going to be the main focus of the channel. I've just been really enjoying Kingdom Come and so have you guys, because the views have been absolutely amazing on that series. But enough of that, let's get straight into this battle. So as I said, we do have a 4 vs 4 on the go, crazy battles, and we'll run through a few of the interesting units that both sides are bringing. So we'll start off with the forces of the Greenskins. They do have some of these awesome Arachnarok Queens who have been completely reskinned, along with the Savage Giants as well. We also have the Armored Colossus Squig. This unit is hilarious when it does dive into battle, along with the rest of the Gobbo Centurion Riders and the Boar Boys. Over on the main front line, we do have a bunch of these legendary units, along with the Gobbo Rusty Arrows as well. This is going to be a sturdy front line of Black Orcs and other dangerous units, as well as the Bone Breakers. We continue to make our way over to, I guess, the other two players. I imagine they're set up in, a 2 vs 2 scenario. We also have more Black Orcs, a whole legion of Black Orcs, as we can see, along with more Savage Orcs. We then have a lot of these Gobbos. They're going to be raining down arrows upon the enemy, along with more Ragnaroks and other interesting units. Then if we go look at the other army, the Skaven forces, we can see on their front line, they do have a bunch of these Storm Vermin with shields, along with the Censer Bearers. They're going to be a very good anti-infantry unit. We also have a bunch of Warp Lightning Cannons. Skaven obviously known for their dangerous artillery. Then we also have some Storm Vermin Champions. Continuing to make our way back, we have some Poisoned Wind Globadiers back there, or the Death Globadiers. Then some Rat Ogres and also the Shadow Clone. Some Shadow Clan, I was going to say Clone, god, oh, damn it. Some Shadow Clan Rat Ogres, and then we also have more Bombardiers, Warpfire Throwers, and I believe in the mods that which are being used, we do actually have some Rattling Gunners as well, which are a really cool unit. Yeah, I think these are there, right there. No, these are the Catapult Battery. There's so many interesting units in these mods, I have no idea what half these units actually do. More Plague Monks, along with more Storm Vermin, the kind of the meat of the Skaven army. And then we finally have one last army all the way over here in the left hand side. Again, going to be mainly made up of all these Storm Vermin, along with, the Screaming Bell and all the other nuisance in the background. Obviously a very strong setup right here by Skaven. Lots of monstrous units ready to dive themselves into battle. So let's just jump straight away into it. So we actually do kick off with a little bit of an engagement over here. Some of the Skaven rats, I guess these are? Yes, what the hell are these? Some rat swarms, yeah. There's some rat swarms actually ambushing a Doom Diver catapult right here. You can't really see them because they're in the long grass, but maybe that's all part of the battle plan right now, is to hide these rats. We do have a few of the generals coming down, but the Doom Diver catapult is taking a lot of damage right now. It's down to half strength, so there's probably going to be a catapult or two that they can't even use, which is pretty crazy to think that, just one unit of rat swarms managed to do that much damage. The artillery for the Skaven are being pushed up, and as soon as they get into range, they're going to hammer away at the Orcs. And that's just going to force them, I think, to come forward. Luckily, the Orcs do have a lot of terrain that they can use to their advantage, using this huge amount of trees to help block the artillery shots. But even still, the Skaven artillery is going to come in thick and fast, and it's going to be pretty deadly. Over on the left-hand side, you can see the Skaven pushing up their Grand Battery, taking this huge hill. This is a really smart move for them, because this battery, which I believe is something like... Is this a battery, or is this just... No, this is just the normal artillery. Okay, for a second I thought... No, this is a battery. There's like a good, like 15 artillery pieces right here. And they're just going to dominate the entirety of the central battlefield right now. And the Orcs, who are just waiting, unfortunately, I don't think they can climb up here. It'd be amazing if they could climb up the rocks, but... they're going to be very careful here not to be hammered away by the artillery shells. We also have more units moving around in the forest. Oh, this is just more of a rat swarm. Yeah, here you go. You can finally see the rat swarm there. Super agile units. Good for harassing and the like. We also do finally have a nice little engagement over here, right? The first engagement. We actually have this Rat Ogre Destroyer charging in against the Colossus Swig and also the Arachnarok Queen. Probably not the best engagement for it. It's a bit by itself right now. I'm surprised that it did go so YOLO, but I mean, sometimes these ferocious rats just have a mind of their own. Very hard to give command. I mean, more boys are on the way to help out and support the unit. But I can't imagine this being too much of a big issue for the Orcs to deal with, especially now they're starting to advance more and more of their other forces. Obviously, sending up the Black Orcs, which are great armor-piercing units. The artillery, though, is coming in now. We do finally have some artillery up here, I think. I saw some shots coming in. Oh, yeah, we also... Wow, that range is insane. And we also have a huge Warpfire throwers coming in, just hammering away at the Colossus Squig. However, Colossus Squig is going to get into the ranks of the Storm Vermin, but, I mean, how well are they going to do? And that's the Rattling Gunners right there as well. Oh, there's also the Warp Block Rifles. Oh, my God, the texturing is messed up there. These are the Warp Block... No, these are the Doom Rocket Brigade. Okay. And yeah, the Rattling Gunners are back here as well, just looking to hold this position and pick away at the York forces. I mean, the majority of the York army is just waiting for its time to push up. And at the moment, it's going to be a hard fight because they're going to be getting picked away by artillery. It's going to be brutal, and you kind of really need these forces who I assume are making their way around the left flank to then hammer in. Just need to kind of make their commitment and push in already. A lot of the guns are coming in now, the arrow fire, and that's going to see the Rat Ogre Destroyer just destroyed from the battlefield. He's not going to go down without one or two more ferocious attacks, though. We can see him looking amazing, running through these Orc boys. The artillery, though, we can just see from the Skaven batteries. This is such a good position for them, and they're just going to be relentlessly assaulting the Orcs and the Greenskins as they do make their way forward. This Rat Ogre I thought would be seeing getting killed already. I mean, he's so close to going down. More of the Gobbo Centurions making their way in. And the Arachnarok, and there we go, finally the Destroyer being slain on the battlefield. I mean, he did do some good damage, almost taking out this Arachnarok Queen. However, I feel like he desperately needed, you know, maybe a little bit more damage. The artillery battery, I mean, it's not hitting too many of its targets, but it looks pretty goddamn amazing. It really, really does. How did the other Vanguard force over here do? Not too great, and we're going to see the entire Skaven force now making its way into the battle, looking to engage the rest of the Greenskins. Go. This is where it's going to start to heat up now, boys. Everyone is charging towards each other. We had a small little skirmish. Oh my God, what the hell is that? I feel so sorry for these brave Greenskins. The Foot of Gore going off up there, but yeah, the artillery shots. Look at that, man. What is that shooting it? The Warpstone Thrower? Wow, that is insane. Just descending upon the Greenskins. What can men do? Oh, this is really good, though. They're using their archers to actually hit up here. I didn't realize that they would have the range, but I guess they didn't. That's going to force the Greenskins back and give them a bit of respite and allow them to push on something else. I mean, ideally, they need to find a way around here. Maybe whether it's through this gap here. Or if they use their flying units, they really need to try and assault this position as fast as they can. The force is making their way up, but this is going to be Warfire Thrower, Doom Rocket Brigade, and also the Rattling Gunners as well shooting out. The Skaven force is making their way in. Storm Vermin fighting against some of the elite greatsword infantry of the Gobbos. It's quite funny because you can barely even see the Gobbos in the long grass. Both sides clashing. We have some more of the Gobbo Centurions here. Skaven moving soldiers right around the right flank, I imagine, to encircle this. If we press K again, we can really see that the Greenskins are pushing in a large portion of their force, trying to assault this position. We also have a large amount of Greenskins still just trying to avoid, as best they can, this missile fire, because it's pretty brutal, and a lot of these shots do end up racking up a lot of kills. The left flank is still being pushed up. I guess the artillery is going back and forth right now between these guys, using their Doom Diver catapults, using everything they have at their disposal, along with all these missiles as well. And Magical hit going off right there, taking out a few of the Orc Legends, which I think is hilarious. Retaliation going off, though, hitting back on the Skaven armies. The fight, though, on this right-hand side has fully erupted now. We have Rat Ogres coming in. The elite Orc boys also making their way up against the Skaven forces. The Clan Rats coming up. Is it Clan Rats or is it Slave Rats? Slave Rats coming up from underneath, erupting through the ground. More and more of them. Artillery still coming out. We do have the main bulk of the Orc army right there, just getting pounded in the side by the artillery coming in. The Orcs, though, these Orc, infantry should be more than capable of slaying these Stormvermin. The Stormvermin are good, but they're not going to beat, such a good infantry killer like these Crimson Killers. It's just going to be whether or not they can do enough damage without the artillery coming in, because as you can see, the artillery is just ripping the back line of the Orcs. However, they are going to be taking down these Skaven, allowing to push forward their army, and this is when they're really going to start to excel. The artillery is going to be doing great. Oh my god, Bo. This Ragnarok is just getting set ablaze by the Rocketeers. Not doing too much damage. I guess I didn't have great armor piercing. But I mean, it's going to be doing damage nonetheless, and morale damage as well. And that's going to send the actual Ragnarok Queen back to whence it came. There is another one, though, just a normal Ragnarok Spider to make up in the midst. And the Orc infantry is cutting through the Skaven. I mean, it's what we kind of expected to happen, but I felt like the Skaven would put up a bit more of a fight here once they got into melee. But their units just aren't good enough right now. A lot of the magic coming off as well. Was this a Itchy Nuisance? Itchy Nuisance indeed, knowing their melee attack and also their weapon damage. Ferocious Beasts, though, that's going to be the ones to do the damage, I guess, for the Skaven along with their artillery. The Archer Fire is flying in. Luckily, there are a few trees here to block a lot of the damage, but still many of the arrows are going to be finding their way through the trees and into their targets. Battlefield looks so cool. I love the mist down here right now. As the other sides clash now, the other sides have clashed again in the forest. We have a lot of the infantry. So I feel like the Orcs are going to excel in melee combat. They have some really elite units. I mean, just look at that, man. That looks amazing with the spells in the background. That is awesome. Let's go full cinematic right now. Let's slow down the camera and let's just roam around the battlefield as we see both sides just fighting one another. Clan Rat Ogres doing or the Shadow Clan Ogres doing great. The rest of the infantry as well, just destroying where they come into contact with. We also have some of the Rat Ogres back here as well. They've managed to make their way on more of the heavy infantry line. Or through the heavy infantry line, I should say, and onto the missiles back here. They should be easy pickings for the Rat Ogres if the Rat Ogres can survive this missile barrage coming in. The rats are swarming right now. Everywhere I look, where are the heavy infantry for the Orcs? I can barely see them. We do have some of these other creatures making their way in, the Wyverns. They are being hammered by electric blasts, I imagine set out by the Skaven, as well as shot by the Deathglow Bombardiers. And the Rattling Gunners back there, maybe? But they are still very healthy. Balance of power is extremely even. The center of the battlefield is also kicked off. God, I love my Discord so much for playing and creating these battles. There's so many cool engagements. This one was a little bit slow to start off with, but now it has fully kicked off. It's just so much fun. There's just so much action going off, and that's what I feel like the Discord do. I'm not always in the mood to record hour-long battles. Every once in a blue moon, I love to do it when they send it in, like some really good lore battles. Around 30 to 40 minutes is kind of the ideal length for these replays. But sometimes, whenever I do see an hour-long battle or an hour and a half-long battle, I know that there's going to be action throughout the engagement. So, because my Discord sent it in, obviously I'm going to bring it to you guys because I know it's going to be good. They wouldn't have sent it in to me if it wasn't good. And that's why I appreciate, my Discord so goddamn much. They really do create some amazing battles. So if you guys want to be a part of these battles, make sure to join my Discord. The link will be in the description down below. And also just be sure to drop a like on the video. They do play quite a few of these battles. They even end up replaying some lore battles like 6 times maybe to get a good one. So they do put in a lot of time, and I do really appreciate it. Skaven showing their agileness against the orcs. These obviously being the clan shadow ogres. How's the fight over here going now that we've given it a bit of time? Has any side really shown victory? Yeah, the orcs have just ripped through this right-hand side army, giving no quarter whatsoever. The archer fire just tearing apart whatever it is here. We've got some clan rats right now. Oh no, the stormmen with shields actually. And they're being torn apart by the archer fire. Luckily they do have shields. It's going to give them a bit more missile block, allowing them to absorb a few of these arrows. But this is brutal, and you're actually going to see the Skaven routing, falling back from the battle. We have the Colossus Squig as well, doing its job to hold them in place. The Grey Seer being surrounded, is low on HP. Yeah, the Grey Seer is very close to going down. The Plague Priest, sorry, not Grey Seer. I think the Grey Seer is on the Screaming Bell, whereas the Plague Priest is on that thing, the Globe. Yeah, the Archer Fire just ripping down this right flank. This is bad news for the Skaven. I mean, they're winning on the other flank by the looks of it, but this right flank has just completely collapsed. We're going to see the entire Skaven forces making their way in. Wow, that is something to behold. The amount of units right now on the field of battle, giving you a good bird's eye view. I mean, besides this right stronghold, doesn't really look like the Greenskins have too much, but I guess they're also pushing right here. But I mean, like, this left army doesn't look very strong whatsoever. I guess they just have a lot of elite units here. You can see they do have a lot of these elite units like the Legends and also the Crimson Killer Boys. We've also got a large portion of units right here as well, trying to get a lot of damage down. On the right-hand side, though, this could be make or break for the this could be make or break for the forces of the orcs, though, because this is a huge choke point. You can already see the missile fire coming in, hitting away a lot of these missiles. It's going to be very telling whether or not these missiles can do the damage to the Rocketeers and take them out, allowing the rest of the infantry to make their way up. Because I mean, look at that artillery barrage right now by the Rocketeers. There's a lot of them here, and they're set up in a very, very good position. They also have a lot of infantry coming up. God, there's so many of these guys. My God. Yeah, look at them just shoot off. They're going to be hammering this choke point. And it might be a good idea just to send more troops around that left flank to try and silence them. Or maybe even send in some more infantry or flying units to try and silence them. Yeah. The good thing is, though, they're giving enough time for more and more of the reinforcements to turn up. We have a wonderful Great Wyvern here taking on more of the Rocketeers. Or Rattateers, sorry. I forgot that all the Skaven forces are very pun-heavy. Rattateers. And these guys aren't going to stand a chance against this magnificent creature. The Wyvern is going to tear these rats from limb. Unless more reinforcements can turn up. Obviously, if they get some more infantry, maybe get these Rocketeers out. And they are also falling back in a few of these positions. I think we are going to see, though, the Greenskins running a muck on the front lines, at least over here. And we do have this giant Plague Priest fighting, but I believe these are the Legends right here. And the Legends, with the support of the Savage Orcs, able to push back this Skaven force set up to defend this mountain pass. Skaven just falling to the ground, becoming fertilizer for the battle. Yeah, these Black Orcs, they're huge great axes. Just finish it off this plague. Oh, is he still alive? He is still alive. Oh, the Vermin Lord, sorry. There's a lot of these names which I mess up on, I apologize. The Orcs managed to push through yet. They're only just using their Archer Fire to take these guys out. However, they have spawned a unit of their Arachnarok has actually made its way up here. That's great, because this Arachnarok is going to be taking a lot of the Rocketeers, Rattateers fire away from the infantry, allowing them to push up if they want to. Who the hell is this boy? Savage Orc Champion. Oh, baby, he looks awesome. Look at that. The Vermin Lord, again, another one back here. And the Orc Legends should be enough to break him down. The Colossus Squig is probably going to eat him for breakfast. They need to push on them and try and take them out. Obviously, making their way up here as well is really important as we have more and more Skaven set up in the surrounding area. Lots of Storm Vermin. I assume this is Albino Guard. Well, Storm Vermin Champion. It looked a bit like Albino Guard. And obviously more Rattateers. I don't know, are these gunners? Are these war... Yeah, these are the warp lock rifles, yeah. Assuming we're going to be getting these guys in a DLC later on down the line in Warhammer. Something like the, you know, the King and the Warlord DLC pack. I imagine we'll be getting something like that for Warhammer not very soon after the Norsca DLC. So all of these guys pushing around now. There's a lot of the Orcs have managed to clean up this left flank, but the balance of power is still very even. The Orcs do have the number advantage, but only just. I think the Skaven definitely even still have the positional advantage, and also you've got to bear in mind that the Skaven are all close together, as we do actually have one of the generals for the Greenskins going down. The Skaven are all close together in a really good position, whereas the Orcs are very split up across the map. The Rattling Gunners right now in an awesome overlook, just unloading shots on these Gobbos. Obviously not very accurate, but they're going to be finding their targets enough of the time. But they are going to be getting cut down. Well, not cut down, but slowed down by these Gobbos. And that's going to allow more infantry to turn up if they can make it. Archer fire now making its way in. And these guys are extremely vulnerable to missile fire. They don't really have a great amount of shields or anything. We also have a Savage Giant also still left. I imagine these guys are going to be getting a few more shots off before going down from the missile fire. I mean, how much HP do they have? Yeah, they don't have a lot of HP. Actually going to be routing fully now away from the field of battle. The artillery as well coming in. Finally some retaliation by the Orc boys. And the Savage Giant. He's going to be doing great against these Plague Monks. Even though they have these huge flails, the Giant should be able to just destroy these guys. Another Giant also making its way up as well. That is pretty intense if they can get enough of these guys on them. You can see the Giant is also going to be engaging some of the Stormburning champions. And they're all going to be doing some good damage. I imagine these guys are anti-large. Anti-large, armor-piercing, charge defense against large. This is a great kind of distraction force, keeping this entire infantryman our way, and then obviously bringing up more and more men. The Savage Orc Champion coming in as well, sending 6 or 7 Skaven flying with one swing of his beautiful axe. Skaven are going to be routing. One of the biggest problems for the Skaven forces is their morale right now. They're really not standing toe-to-toe. And this does look like it's going to be a little last stand there by the Skaven. That's awesome, but they've retreated back. The forces are coming around slowly but surely, making their way across the battlefield once again to smash up. I mean, the balance of power is still very, very even. I'm surprised how even it is. We do have an Orc War Boss fighting against the Skaven, obviously trying to prove his mettle, as the rest of the Orcs do just simply form up. We're obviously giving the Orc War Boss time to make a name for himself, show his mettle in the face of these rats before pushing up and finishing off the Skaven forces. I mean, it looks really good for the Orcs right now. The balance of power is saying otherwise. But it's not like the Skaven really have a large force of like rats or anything left. They have artillery, they have these warp fire throwers and stuff, but they also have a couple units out here. Maybe these guys have just been forgotten about. But I think it's only going to be a matter of time until they just descend upon this last position. I imagine they're getting a large portion of their men together, ready to just shoot away and pick away. You can see, yeah, the gunners are coming out now. The Rattling Gunners pushing their way out. They're going to be hammering away, obviously trying to take out as many of this infantrymen as possible. I mean, they do rip through infantry very nicely, but the Arachnarok is going to come flying in on the back flanks, and that should be enough to silence a lot of these Rattling Gunners. I say that, but it's just looking very intently with his arrow fire. The Gobbos do come in, doing a bit of damage around the back. But this Spider needs to simply charge in. My dude, what is going on? Charge in. It's just waiting there for more and more of the forces to push up. The arrow fire going off overhead as well. There you go, finally being given the order. Let's go back to normal speed now. And that's going to just surround the Skaven troops. They do have golden experience, but that's just not enough to keep them on the field of battle. There's so many ferocious giants and spiders and heavy infantry instilling fear into the Skaven bodies. And that is going to see them running from the field of battle. My God, I'm so sorry, guys. Why did I not have blood and gore on? I apologize. Hopefully I didn't annoy you guys too much. I do really apologize, though, because I know it makes a large portion of the battle. It makes it look so much better. I'm super sorry. I completely forgot for the rest of this replay. Hopefully you guys weren't too annoyed. I just honestly didn't notice. It's been a while since I last played Warhammer, so I guess I just didn't realize. The last Skaven stands right here. The nice thing by the Orc players is they're getting their Wyvern in here to silence a lot of the missiles and the artillery batteries. Yeah, trying to kill these Deathglobe Bombardiers is a must right now. We're going to have the Rat Ogre Destroyer falling back. Oh, these Death Globes are finding their mark, though, onto the Arachnarok. Oh, we're just going to be seeing a huge surround right now before they descend in. If we take a little look out, we can see, yeah, a large portion of the forces are just all accumulating around this position, ready for one last stand. Plague Monk Sense Bearers going in.
They squirt via muscle.
Even they are no match for the might and the power of the Orc Legends. I love that name, Legends. We also have some Archer Fire coming up here as well, as it does look like, yeah, nice little magic spell going off there, doing plenty of damage to the artillery crew and whatever remains back there. They basically just have some gunners back here, nothing too special, especially once these guys route as well, when the Plague Monk Sense Bearers route. And that's just going to be mean that they literally have nothing left, or at least infantry-wise, they have very, very little left. You can hear the Legends screaming, victory is at hand, wanting more and more blood. I mean, considering I only put blood and gore on for like the last 2 minutes, these Orcs have managed to find their way to get very, very bloody, and they're going to make their way pushing forward now into this last stand. Speed up quickly, so letting it closer and closer, but pushing further and further into the enemy ranks. And the more they do this, the better it's going to be. The balance of power must be messed up, because there is no way the Skaven even have a remote chance of winning this battle, surely, unless they maybe cause a huge mass rout, maybe. But the Orcs have a lot of elite units, you know, these giants and stuff are not easily defeated. And it's not like they have any way to really take out this infantry, unless they can maybe get their artillery operational again. They managed to kill a Wyvern though, so maybe there is a chance. They also have a Vermin Lord back there, and a unit of Clan Rat, unit of Storm Vermin. So maybe there is a chance. Maybe I'm being foolish and underestimating. And yeah, I mean, these Death Globadiers are going to be doing damage. I mean, if we look at the balance of power again, it's still so even. Maybe a good spell or two back here would be enough to claim victory. The giant going toe-to-toe with the Plague Monk, and actually dying right there. Wow. Oh, not dying. He's getting back up. He looked like he was going down. This battlefield is just crazy right now. The amount of units just going at it with one another is insane. Both sides. I love the colors as well. The Orcs just need to simply pull through here, silence his artillery, and the battle and the day will most certainly be theirs. Just keep on the grind, keep on the push. The Warlord and also a few of the other infantrymen are there. But yeah, here we go. The Black Orc big boss has made his way through. Start cutting through this Plague Priest. More of the infantry, but I mean, the Orcs are starting to run out of soldiers. There's also a few kind of minor engagements back here as well. We have a Rattling Gun is shooting away. But these guys, the Orcs, are starting to run out of numbers. I mean, if this artillery persists, then maybe they will not win this. Yeah, as you can see, the Death Glow Deers have really done so much damage right there. 94 kills, almost 100. A lot of elite generals left. I mean, maybe I was wrong, especially if these Orc big bosses go down. Who knows? Maybe this battle was a lot closer than I thought. The Orcs simply just need to push on forwards and attack. It does look like that everyone is out of ammunition now. Yeah, it does look like all the ammunition is now gone, and that might seal the deal for the Skaven. But that went down to the wire a lot quicker, but like a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. I really honestly thought that the Orcs just had this battle. The Skaven showing that they are not defeated until they are defeated. The artillery crew, a rusty sword in one hand, a wooden mace in the other. The siege crew are just no match for the Orcs whatsoever. 40 seconds left of this battle, and it does look like that the Orcs are going to clean this up. Just doing the last bit of damage to the Warlord, bringing him down, and then the rest of the forces are pushing on. The General, the Murder Lord, is being killed, and then finally that is going to be it for the battle. The green teams are going to come out on top. It looks like the battle desynced towards the end of that, but overall I think it was still a very, very exciting battle nonetheless. Unfortunate, because this was recorded, I'm recording this on Sunday, and it was played on Friday, so one of the mods must have got updated in the space between that, which is really unfortunate, honestly. But I don't think that affected the battle. That was still a crazy engagement right down to the end. Both sides putting up a really, really impressive show. So make sure to drop a like on the video down below if you enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one, and fish out.